Hello guys, Andybrew here, and today we're going to talk about the differences between Vengeance Demon Hunter and Prot Paladin. Is one necessarily better than the other? And what we'll see, or we'll likely see going forward in this season. I've been wanting to make this video because of the fact that I'm getting a lot of questions in my stream all the time. Yo Andy, is Vengeance Demon Hunter better than Prot Paladin? Is Prot Paladin better than Vengeance Demon Hunter? Do I want to gear, my Prot Paladin, or should I play my Vengeance Demon Hunter? Yo Andy, I've seen Prot Paladin doing really well in this season currently. Is it going to stay like that? Or is it going to change going forward? First of all, we'll just break down the large differences that I see between the two tanks. We're going to start off with Vengeance Demon Hunter, which in my opinion, or well, it's not even an opinion, it's just more damage than Prot Paladin, both AoE and single target. In AoE, like when you're going pack to pack, it's actually considerably more damage since Prot Paladin is mostly tied to doing big damage around its Wings Divine Toll and its tier sets. Your Cleansing Flame, like your big consecration, and you're not really going to have that in back-to-back pulls as big as, say, Vengeance Demon Hunter is. It's going to be more consistent AoE from them. On top of that, you have way more stops through Silent Sigil, Grip Sigil, Fear Sigil, AoE Stun, which Prot Paladin can only really match with, Blinding. And that's it. So then, on top of that, you're also tankier as well as a Vengeance Demon Hunter. So this season, you don't need to play Last Resort. You play Soul Crush builds, which means that you gain Giga DR from having Frailty overlaps because of a talent called Void Reaver, which gives you DR based off Frailty on a mob. And then on top of that, you spend way more souls than you used to, so you get way more Pain Bringer value, which is more DR. And on top of that, you also have Flame Sigil up all the time, which means that you get 20% extra parry from Illuminated Sigils. On top of that, you have a 30-second Fel Dev. You have a much better version of Fiery Brand that basically applies to different targets much faster, every 1 second now, compared to 2 seconds before. And on top of all that, you have a 2-minute meta now instead of a 3-minute meta. You're far tankier than you've ever have been as Vengeance Demon Hunter. I would have to say this is probably tankiest Vengeance Demon Hunter has ever been, I would say. Like, Prot Paladin is very good defensively, but it's not that good. It's not at the same level as Vengeance Demon Hunter is. So that's basically Vengeance Demon Hunter, or the positives I would say it brings over Prot Paladin. And then we'll go over what Prot Paladin brings that Vengeance Demon Hunter doesn't, which is far more group survivability. So Vengeance Demon Hunter only has really Darkness to help the group, which is a RNG raid defensive that's not very good in dungeons, to be honest with you. And you gain much more group survivability with Prot Paladin since you get Devil Aura, you get Sack, you get Bop, you get Spell Ward, and you get Freedom, and you also get some off heals as well through Wog plus Lay on Hands. And then I'd say like the biggest difference, I guess, is that they are better at stopping, in terms of stops, is that they are better at stopping one mob compared to Vengeance Demon Hunter, through the fact that you have a really strong single target stun, and you're also insanely good at kicking as well through Divine Resonance. Whenever you Divine Toll, you throw out Avenger Shields every 5 seconds, and then, yeah, like your ability to lock down one mob is very incredible as Prot Paladin, which can be better in some situations than having really good AoE stops like Vengeance Demon Hunter. For example, you have Everbloom, the 3 mobs before the 3rd boss. Having a Prot Paladin now, I would say, is vastly superior to having a Vengeance Demon Hunter, just because of the fact that as Prot Paladin, you can put Focus Kick, so you just use your Rebuke on one of the mobs to help another team member, and then another mob you could just lock down like your main target through careful use of Avenger Shield and your Divine Resonance shields. There's various different cases like that in keys, so I definitely would say that Prot Paladin, in terms of utility, stop-wise, is definitely not, terrible by any means. It's definitely extremely good. I'd say the main difference is, and the reason why people are running Prot Paladin over Vengeance Demon Hunter this season, is because of the fact that lots of like DPS and healers need externals to live some of the highest keys. For example, you have like Yasma from a Toldazar, like on Tyrannical. A lot more groups are playing Prot Paladin than playing Vengeance Demon Hunter because of the fact that a boss like Yasma, you can get these, big racking pain from the boss overlap with the Soul Rend when she summons the adds. And, having a sack there or a spell ward on that person just can be the difference between that person, living or dying. And with, a Vengeance Demon Hunter, they can't do anything to help that person. I think going forward, At least for now, I think the highest keys will be ran with Prot Paladin over Vengeance Demon Hunter, despite the fact that Vengeance Demon Hunter does give you more damage and maybe more safety in some AoE pulls, and maybe it also potentially allows you to pull bigger. I think to really make Vengeance Demon Hunter shine, you need to have a group comp that is exceptionally tanky, that doesn't require externals by any measure, and I'm not quite sure that group comp exists right now. The 0.5 patch could potentially change things. You know, you might see in the return of Holy Paladin by some means. There's lots of people complaining about the mana changes. If that comes back, then Prot Paladin is somewhat devalued in some way, in that, you know, you don't need Prot Paladin for Devil Aura, and also Holy Paladin is notoriously strong for, you know, or has been in the past for high keys, you know, with a very short 1 minute external defensive. I guess we'll have to see what happens. But for the most part, I would say, I think, you know, both tanks have their positives and negatives. Solo pugging this season, you know, it doesn't matter what you play, you're going to do really well on either. But I do think if you want to push the highest keys with a really coordinated group, I do think Prot Paladin seems to be the play over Vengeance Demon Hunter, just purely based off the fact that you help the group live, and the thing that depletes your keys, the highest keys right now, is not really timer, it's not really damage, it's just whether you live or die. That seems to be like the breaking point right now. Now if that changes, then yeah, you'll want to play something like Vengeance Demon Hunter over Prot Paladin. But at least for now, Prot Paladin seems to be the king, just because it helps keep your group alive. But yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to kind of clarify in this video. I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to do more videos like this. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow my stream, twitch.tv/Andybrew3. And yeah, I'll see you guys there. Thank you. Bye-bye.